What I eat in a day. Day 5 of being in New York. So it's our final day of eating because we go home tomorrow. So we started off with coffee as usual. And then we walked back to the croissant place and waited an hour. And it was worth the wait. Dan doesn't agree, but Dan doesn't like food like I do. It was honestly the best croissant I've ever had and ever will have. And then we went to Los Tacos and we had steak, chicken and pork and just shared them all. And then we went to another bakery, went to that famous New York cookie place, and we got the 2 chocolate chip and the double chocolate chip. Dan's was better. Like, look how gooey it is in a minute.
I didn't get to finish it, did I?
We had half each, it was fine.
That wasn't the original plan though, was it?
No, but it was good. And then we searched up the best samosas in New York, took us to this place, and we knew it was going to be bad when he put it in the microwave, so we just threw him. They were like, no. And then after Broadway, we went back to Joe's Pizza because we're like, we need to have it one more time before we go home. So we got a full one. Dan had cheese on his. I didn't have cheese on mine.
Sex offender.
Shut up. It was honestly the best pizza I will have and ever have. And we demolished it.
My followers decide what I eat for a full day in New York. I put out a poll on IG and a lot of people said Chinatown, but specifically Xi'an famous foods. And honestly, I don't know if I've ever had hand-pulled noodles before. They're so soft and thick, and these hot oil-seared ones numb your mouth in the most addictive way. And I also got the stewed pork hand-ripped noodles, and the pork literally fell apart. It was so juicy, and the spicy sauce is like bursting with flavor. My mouth is literally watering just editing this video. They also have this spicy cumin lamb burger. I love Chinese-style burgers because the sauce just soaks into that buttery, crispy bread. And these spicy sour pork cabbage dumplings were huge, just stuffed with meat, and the sourness in the sauce makes them even hotter. And these pretty green ones were filled with spinach and different veggies, super savory and honestly so filling. And then everyone said to hit up Joe's Pizza. I was curious if the hype was worth it, and let me tell you, it was. The line was out the door and it should have been longer. Best pepperoni pizza of my life. The sauce had this like spicy quality, and the dough was perfectly thin, and the cheese was so creamy. I also got this thick cheese slice, and the crust had the most incredible crunch. Again, the cheese, it's just so melty and creamy and just so delicious. And then a few people said to go to the ice cream museum, which sounded fun. I didn't personally love all of the ice creams. It was like fruity sorbets and popsicles, and then rum raisin just isn't my favorite, but that's just me. And I also discovered that I'm terrible at eating cotton candy. Is there a right way to do it? I don't know. I'm like really bad at it. But anyway, that's all for today.
I'm gonna show you guys everything I eat today in New York City.
Hong Kong doesn't really have great bagel places, so I've been craving bagels for months. We're at Tompkins Square Bagels because their tofu cream cheese is the best.
I got my bagel! It looks a bit bland, but it's really good. The only correct way to eat this is you separate it and you see all the yummy cream cheese on top, and now you just bite. The cream cheese on top is so silky and soft, right?
We're just walking around exploring the city, and I was craving something sweet, so I got an acai smoothie with chia seeds, granola, and honey. I just like love the chewy bits inside. I'm such a huge texture person when it comes to food. For an early dinner, we went to La Pecora Bianca. This is burrata with pesto and tomato, and then sourdough. You guys, I don't usually go crazy for burrata, but I can't stop thinking about this one. Like, the pesto was it for me. We got 3 pastas for us too. I know it's a lot, but girl, we can eat. This was the spicy rigatoni. The pasta was like perfectly al dente. I'm like drooling looking at this. And this dish, you could really taste the pasta itself. And I just like love the wetness and like slurpiness of it. And this is the mushroom and pesto pasta, probably my favorite. The curly pasta really like picks up all the sauce. Oh, this meal really hit. Like, oh, so yummy, so happy. And then we had leftovers later that night.
This is what I eat in a day in NYC. First up, I went to Essa Bagel. They got the thickest bagels in New York. Today I went with the classic bacon, egg, and cheese. Next up for lunch, I went to Sauce Pizzeria. I saw that El Prez Dave Portnoy gave it a 9-1, so I had to give it a try, and he nailed it. Best slice in the city for sure. For an afternoon delight, I went to the Little Cupcake Bake Shop. They have a zillion different cakes, but the best one is the banana Nutella cake. Look at that thing. Wow. For dinner, I went to Kazunori. It's actually the original hand roll bar of NYC, and the way it works is kind of interesting. You sit at the bar, and sushi chefs make individual hand rolls for you one at a time so that they stay fresh. It's a great idea. Then on my walk home, I saw the hot and fresh sign, so I had to stop and get a donut. I had to. And that's it. Stay tuned for day 2.
What I eat in a day.
My mom and I are probably only going to eat Asian food, so naturally we headed to Chinatown first. We went to Shujiao Fujiao and got dumplings and pork steamed buns. For $8, we got 6 steamed buns and 5 dumplings, and they were so delicious. We knew we wanted to hit more than one spot in Chinatown, so we tried not to fill up too much. So we went to Sun Hing Long for steamed rice rolls. We got the dried shrimp roll, which was $3.50 and was made to order. It was really good, but it was really filling. On our way to Williamsburg, we saw the sign for iced coffee at this place called Kopitiam. We ordered the Horka Chai. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it was so good. Literally one of the best coffees I've ever had, and it came in this cute little bag. We took a subway to Williamsburg and then the ferry to Dumbo, and we went to this bakery called L'Appartement 4F. I love when a bakery has fewer options because you just know everything's gonna be so good. And we each ordered a pastry and then headed upstairs. Everything upstairs was so cute, even the bathroom. I had the raspberry almond croissant and it was so good, but my mom ordered their most popular thing, which was the cruffin, and that was phenomenal. We headed to Soho for dinner and we went to this modern Japanese restaurant called Momoya. We both ordered a sake cocktail. I got the ichigo, my mom got the shiso, and again, what she got was even better than mine. For starters, we each had the akadashi miso shiru and the oyster agedashi. The oyster agedashi is like a fried oyster in this dashi broth, which was 10 out of 10. We also had the kampachi jalapeno, which was topped with yuzu and soy and jalapeno. And then came the shokado bento box and the assortment of sushi we ordered. This bento box was stunning. It came with this chirashi, this lobster and avocado tempura, this bamboo shoots, steamed black cod, and matcha salt. That was amazing. A5 Miyazaki Wagyu and snapper sashimi. The assortment of nigiris and sushi rolls we got were so fresh and tasted so good. I wish I could eat this every day. And then came the dessert. I don't think I've ever been blown away by a sweet like this. This was their seasonal parfait called the Tsuru no Ongayashi. It's a literal piece of artwork and there's a Japanese folklore that goes along with it, and it was so beautiful. It definitely hurt to take it apart, but it was so delicious. It wasn't too sweet. It was so perfectly balanced and everything inside of it was amazing. We ended the night with some ocha and some very full stomachs.
All right, let's do a day of eating at New York City's most iconic restaurant, starting with a light breakfast at Katz's Deli. Now, I went midday on a weekday and there was no line. Of course, we got to get the classic pastrami on rye. And look, the elephant in the room here is that this sandwich costs $26, which is just insane. But look at all this pastrami. It was still steaming hot when I brought it back to my table, which was very impressive. I got prime seating right next to the When Harry Met Sally photo here. Of course, this was the setting for my favorite movie of all time. And I'm sorry, there's no better pastrami anywhere. This sandwich is big enough to share and worth the money. For lunch, we are going to Prince Street Pizza, and you'll see the wall of celebrities when you walk in. This is a very popular spot. I had to get the spicy spring slice. This is a square pie with spicy tomato sauce, the most perfect charred curly pepperonis. I will say this is a greasy ass pizza, y'all, and was borderline too saucy for me. I don't know if that's controversial, but still an incredible pizza. I have had better in New York though. Next, we head to Keen's. This is my favorite steakhouse in the US. I come here every time I'm in the city. And if you can't get a reservation, I love sitting at the bar, get an ice cold martini, and we had the lump crab cocktail, filet mignon skewers, and prime rib with horseradish sauce. But this was just an appetizer before the main event, a Madison Square Garden hot dog during the Billy Joel concert. The hot dog was just okay, but the concert was the most magical experience of my life. Thank you, Billy Joel. Okay, bye.
This is everything I ate in a day as someone who doesn't diet, count calories, and just eats whatever. I started out my morning with an almond croissant and a latte. However, that didn't hold me over for very long, so as I was perusing the streets of New York, I came across this restaurant and it looked like the least crowded one in my vicinity, so I walked in and ordered this fried cauliflower that was covered in garlic sauce. And suddenly, I was craving a Costco chicken, but I couldn't just up and leave, so I settled for this chicken kebab skewer thing, and I'm glad I settled because it was very good. After that, I was craving a little something sweet, so I went to a nearby coffee shop, ordered this cookie, but unfortunately, it wasn't for me. But I still needed a little sweet treat, so I went to Levain Bakery where I picked up 2 cookies, this chocolate chip one, which was okay, and this peanut butter chocolate one, which was very good. I ate the whole thing with 0 regrets. I then started to walk and continued to walk, and before I knew it, I had hit 4.5 miles and I was in the middle of Central Park. I was exhausted from this excursion, so I went to another coffee shop, ordered another latte, and before I knew it, I was hungry again, so I went to this nearby pizza place, ordered their most popular slice, and I wish I could have bathed in the meats and sauces and cheeses because it was so good. However, I refrained. For whatever reason, I ended up in a McDonald's where I ordered a Coke to wash everything down and called it a day. That is everything I ate, and follow for more.